This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Consult with a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Welcome to the Wire Broker Edition, the week in real estate, presented in digestible bites. Hold on while our AI hosts take us on another ride through this week's top real estate headlines.
Welcome back, Wire listeners, you dedicated real estate broker owners, to another deep dive. We've been digging through the latest industry buzz to bring you the crucial insights that can really impact your bottom line this week.
Absolutely. And we've got, well, quite a packed agenda today. We're looking at why agents are making moves, what keeps them put.
Yeah.
Also, how understanding personalities like with DISC can maybe boost your leadership game.
Right.
And, of course, a rundown of who's expanding and where, Compass, First Team, EXP, Century 21, the agency, a whole host of others.
Okay.
Plus, we'll touch on those leadership changes over at Home Services of America. The goal really is to connect the dots and give you some solid, actionable takeaways.
Okay, sounds good. Let's dive right into that first big theme then. Agent mobility. There's a new report from Recruiting Insight. It really throws some hard numbers at this.
Yeah, it really does. In 2024, get this, 13% of active agents switch firms. 13%.
Wow, 13%. And think about the volume that represents almost $500 billion in sales volume on the move.
Exactly. It's huge. And the median agent who jumped ship, they had $3 million in sales under their belt.
That's not small change at all. These are productive agents making moves.
And what's really striking about that report is this whole litter bleed idea they talk about.
You litter bleed. I like that.
Yeah, it basically says it's not just about passively running a brokerage anymore. Not at all. You've got to be, proactive about attracting and keeping talent.
Or you're going to bleed that talent, right? See that valuable sales volume walk right out the door.
Precisely. The report really pushes the idea that understanding why agents leave is just paramount now.
Exactly. And they've pinpointed, 8 key reasons behind these moves? We should probably break those down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, first up, leadership and vision. Agents aren't just looking for a place to hang their license, are they?
No, definitely not. They want strong leadership, someone with a clear direction for the brokerage.
It's about articulating a path to their success and, importantly, actually listening to what they have to say. Two-way street.
Absolutely. Then there's support for incoming agents. And this isn't just about the onboarding paperwork.
Right, it's got to be more than that.
It's about providing genuine support, especially with their existing business. And here's a kicker. Dissatisfaction with broker support and compliance.
Yeah.
That's the number one reason agents leave, according to this report.
Number one. Wow. Okay, that's not a statistic broker owners can ignore.
No, it's a huge red flag. It really highlights the critical need for, a seamless transition and having resources readily available.
Like tech and marketing tools, does that fall under support too?
Yeah, effective technology and marketing tools fall squarely into this support category. If you think about it, agents are essentially running their own mini businesses under your umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And they need that solid foundation from the brokerage to really thrive. The report also emphasizes niche differentiation.
Okay, what's that about?
What makes your brokerage the obvious choice for a certain type of agent? Do you have a specific expertise, maybe a powerful local brand, or just a unique culture that resonates, that it factor?
Right, carving out your unique identity in the market. Makes sense. Then comes actually understanding departure reasons, doing those exit interviews.
Crucial step. And it's interesting, tying into that, the report found tech-enabled brokerages. Well, they were the only ones that didn't see a net loss of agents in 2024.
The only ones, really?
Yeah. And they even attracted higher producers, which is, it's pretty telling, isn't it?
Definitely telling. It suggests technology isn't just a nice to have anymore. It's becoming a significant magnet for top talent.
That's a surprising insight we should probably circle back to later. It's quite powerful. The report also highlights commitment to agent growth.
Meaning?
Agents are hungry for advanced training, for mentorship opportunities, for those cutting-edge tools that keep them competitive out there.
Okay, growth opportunities, got it. And company culture, that's on the list too.
Another big one, a positive, collaborative, supportive environment. I mean, nobody wants to work where they don't feel valued or respected. Right?
True. It's about fostering teamwork and mutual respect.
Exactly. And of course, technology itself is a major factor. We touched on it, but it's worth listing separately.
So beyond just support tools.
Yeah, from social media strategies to sophisticated data analysis platforms, Agents, especially younger ones, expect access to the best stuff. And finally, number 8, competitive compensation, always in the mix.
Naturally. But it's not just about the commission splits, is it?
No, the report clarifies that. It includes future earnings potential and, crucially, getting paid accurately and on time. That last part can be a real friction point if it's not handled well.
Okay, so it really paints this picture of agents evaluating the whole package. It's not just one thing driving their decisions. It's multifaceted.
Precisely.
Now, let's maybe switch gears a bit. Let's talk about something maybe a little different, personality assessments. NAR's Broker Power Hour recently put a spotlight on the DISI assessment.
DISI, yeah. Dominance, influence, conscientiousness, and steadfastness.
Right. For those listeners who might not be familiar, it categorizes people into those 4 main styles.
And what's fascinating is how applying this framework, which, isn't specific to real estate at all, can really refine your approach as a broker owner.
How so?
Well, the Broker Power Hour emphasized how understanding these different DISC styles can significantly improve your communication, like across the board.
In what way specifically? Managing offices, recruiting?
Yeah, all of that. Leading team meetings, bringing on new agents, even working to keep your current agents happy and engaged.
Okay, I can see that. So if you have an agent who's high in dominance, direct, focused on results, they probably want you to get straight to the point.
Exactly. Less fluff, more action. They're less interested in lengthy explanations or chit-chat.
Okay. And on the flip side, an influence style agent, the outgoing, enthusiastic type.
They might really respond well to more social interaction, public recognition, positive reinforcement. Build that relationship.
Right. So tailoring your communication, that's the key.
Precisely. It can make your coaching sessions much more impactful, and it can also be really helpful in navigating disagreements or conflicts.
How would that work with the other styles? Conscientiousness and steadfastness?
Well, someone with a conscientiousness style who values accuracy, details, privacy, they might prefer detailed information, maybe presented in writing, perhaps in a more private setting.
Okay, not put on the spot.
Right. Whereas a steadfastness style agent, typically patient, humble, loyal, and they might appreciate a more empathetic, steady, and understanding approach. Consistency is key for them.
Interesting. And it's not just about understanding your agents, is it? The DISC assessment can also be a powerful tool for self-reflection for us broker owners.
Oh, absolutely. Recognizing our own communication style and how it comes across to others, that's fundamental for effective leadership, isn't it?
Yeah. How often do we as leaders really stop and think about our own tendencies and their impact on the team?
Probably not often enough. The Broker Power Hour suggested that building a culture of understanding and belonging, really, driven by this awareness of different styles that can significantly contribute to agent retention.
Makes perfect sense. When agents feel genuinely understood and that their communication preferences are respected, they're far more likely to feel valued.
And stick around.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, good stuff. Now let's move on to some of the brokerage expansion news we've been seeing. Always a good indicator of where the industry is heading, right?
Sure. Lots of movement lately.
Compass, for instance. They welcomed a major player in the NYC market, Patty LaRocco, and her team. They came over from Douglas Elliman.
Yeah, big name. Her $3 billion in closed sales. Well, that speaks for itself.
And Compass highlighted their marketing and network support as key reasons for her move.
Interestingly, another executive, Nicole Solaris, also rejoined Compass recently. She was also briefly at Douglas Elliman.
Seems like some significant talent shifting between those two, potentially.
Well, what stands out with Compass's moves here is their clear strategy, attracting top-tier, high-producing agents. They're positioning themselves as the platform to amplify success.
Right, leveraging their resources for established players.
Then on a maybe different scale, you've got First Team Real Estate. They're starting a national expansion, kicking off in Idaho and Washington with plans for Arizona, Nevada, Oregon.
Okay, First Team. What's their angle?
They talk about their behind-the-agent philosophy. It emphasizes coaching, customized strategies, technology, and even an agent ownership model.
Agent ownership. Interesting.
Yeah, and it seems to be working for recruitment. They reported adding something like $1 billion in sales volume in the past year just through bringing agents on board.
Wow, that behind-the-agent approach sounds really compelling, focusing on empowering agents.
Seems to be resonating.
Yeah.
Then we have Century 21 welcoming a new affiliate in Chicago Duo Real Estate Group, now called Century 21 Impact.
What's notable there?
It's an African-American owned and female-led brokerage, and they have ambitious growth plans, agent recruitment acquisitions,
That really underscores the growing importance of diversity in the industry, doesn't it? And established franchises partnering with dynamic local firms.
Absolutely. And speaking of expansion, eXp Realty just keeps going. They've now moved into Turkey. That's their 26th international market.
26th. Wow. They were just in Peru recently, too, weren't they?
Yep. It aligns perfectly with their cloud-based, agent-centric model. Their mission seems truly global now.
Their growth strategy is clearly focused on reaching agents everywhere. What else? The agency?
The agency opened a new office in Vancouver, Washington. That's their 8th in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay, capitalizing on that growth near Portland, a targeted regional approach.
Exactly. And Engel & Volkers is also growing its North American footprint. New office in Richmond, Virginia, focusing on the luxury market there.
So continued investment in the higher end segment.
Seems so. And Coldwell Banker Realty brought on a top producer in Connecticut, Michelle Eisenberg, known for big volume in upscale CT and NY markets.
So again, established brokerages actively recruiting high-performing individual agents. It keeps coming back to that.
If we tie this all back to our initial discussion on agent mobility, well, these expansion stories are often fueled by agents making strategic moves, right?
Yeah, they're seeking out platforms, opportunities, leadership, everything we talked about.
Yeah.
That best support their growth and focus.
And finally, there's that big leadership transition at Home Services of America.
Right. Gino Blefari stepping down as CEO.
He's becoming chairman emeritus, and Chris Kelly, who is EVP, is stepping into the president and CEO roles.
What are Kelly's stated priorities?
He mentioned wanting to unify their various brands, put a strong emphasis on agent success again, that theme and leverage technology to simplify things for agents and consumers.
Unification, agent success, tech. Sounds familiar.
It does. He also mentioned wanting to shift from a more defensive posture related to all the commission litigation towards a proactive growth strategy. And he shared some interesting thoughts on NER's clear cooperation policy.
Oh, what about clear cooperation? That's always a hot topic.
He emphasized the need for flexibility at the local market level, which, is a perspective many brokers probably share.
That's a significant leadership change at a major player. Kelly's focus definitely echoes those key themes from the Recruiting Insight Report about what drives success.
Yeah, the brand unification, tech adoption, and his comments on local flexibility for clear cooperation. Definitely something broker owners are watching closely.
Which brings us back, I think, to that surprising insight you mentioned earlier from the Recruiting Insight Report.
Right. The tech-enabled brokerages. Despite making up a smaller portion of the firms, they analyzed just 8%.
They were the only ones that didn't experience a net loss of agents in 2024.
And maybe even more significantly, they were attracting the higher producing agents.
It just really highlights how critical technology has become, doesn't it? Especially in the eyes of those top performers.
It's not just about having the latest gadgets, I don't think. It's about how technology can genuinely streamline their operations, boost their marketing, and ultimately, contribute to their bottom line, their success.
So, Wire listeners, as you're navigating this landscape, what does all of this really mean for you? What's the big picture here?
Well, I think the core takeaway is just the undeniable need to be proactive and strategic about both agent recruitment and, maybe even more crucially, agent retention.
Because that mobility has real financial implications, as that report showed.
Huge implications. And it's clearly moved beyond just offering competitive commission splits. That's table stakes now, maybe. It demands strong, clearly communicated leadership, robust support systems that actually address those pain points around compliance and onboarding.
Number one reason agents leave.
Exactly. Plus, a positive, growth-oriented company culture that builds loyalty, and a smart, effective embrace of technology that genuinely helps agents.
So understanding the why behind agent moves, whether it's support, tools, leadership, culture, and then actively tailoring your brokerage's value proposition.
That's no longer optional. I mean, it's absolutely essential for sustainable growth and, frankly, avoiding that talent bleed we talked about earlier.
So maybe as you're reflecting on your own brokerage, ask yourselves, are you truly leading with a clear, compelling vision? How effectively are you understanding and responding to the individual needs, the communication styles of your agents? Maybe even considering how something like DISC could offer insights there.
Yeah, good questions. And are you strategically leveraging technology, not just to have it, but to create a real advantage for your agents? And are you actively cultivating that culture, the kind that not only attracts but fiercely retains your top performers?
This deep dive, it's really a snapshot of a market that's constantly in motion, isn't it?
Definitely. We hope it sparks some new ideas, maybe some adjustments to your strategies.
Yeah.
Maybe consider this. Given that clear success of tech-enabled brokerages in attracting and retaining agents, what innovative ways can all brokerages, regardless of their current model, integrate technology better and cultivate a culture that truly resonates with today's top real estate professionals?
Yeah, that's a question worth some serious thought for everyone listening.
Keep leading, keep innovating.
And we'll catch you next time, right here on The Wire.
If you're interested in your own personalized edition of The Wire, please visit us at thewire.fm/custom. We offer market-specific podcasts with all the latest real estate news and market analysis delivered to you weekly or monthly. Own your market with a personalized edition of The Wire, the week in real estate. Thank you for listening.